But it's crop circles, City of Atlantis, and what Shaq's got in his drawers. That's what we're trying to figure out as a society.
Embiid getting hurt ruined half the playoffs. Well, technically, a fourth of it, because I wasn't going to watch Phoenix anyway. I knew they would beat Dallas. The Grizzlies and the Warriors is going to be nice to watch. Going to be nice to watch. The Grizzlies and the Warriors is definitely entertaining so far. Them tying the series, the Celtics tying the series, it makes for a good series early on. But, bro, with Embiid out, there's no point in even watching. The Heat are going to be the Heat. They have successfully gotten through, well, they will at least get through 2 playoff series very easily because the Hawks weren't really a challenge and Capella was hurt for like 2 of those games. You get the Sixers without Embiid, a terrible James Harden who nobody recognizes. But even before this show started, I've talked about for years how much James Harden freezes when it's crunch time. Like, when he's the best player on the team, he can't handle the pressure, bro. So
he'll sell.
He will sell you to the highest bidder. And that's what's going on, man. That stuff with Tyrese Maxey is wild to me, man. Did you see that video of him, like, switching seats and, like, the disrespect, low-key? So I've never liked Harden, but I probably, knowing I would be on TV, I probably wouldn't have done that. But he's probably frustrated with him for more than just reasons of being on the court. There's probably something going on in the locker room, or he's probably seeing Harden waste his time or be worried about the wrong stuff. When you're supposed to be the veteran, you're supposed to be the guy. So they said, I don't know what's going on, but it's just kind of confirmation of what happened between Harden and the Nets and then Ben Simmons and Philly. They basically swapped drama for drama, a whining baby for a whining baby, for lack of a better term, or not to be too, candid with you all, but y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it is. So, again, Celtics 1-1. Love what I saw. I don't expect them to shoot that well. I mean, things calmed down in the second half, but I don't expect them to shoot that well from 3 again. And I don't expect Milwaukee to shoot that badly, but that did help me mentally, my mental, man, to give a little hope to the series, to see that the Bucks can be beat, because after game 1, bro, they really handed it to us.
Mm-hmm. They touched on it in a sexual type of way,
where it was dark and nobody could hear us. Mm-hmm. So, with that said, I don't want to talk too much about the playoffs. We were having a conversation earlier that I kind of want to revisit, man. And that was it. So me and John had a very just bad conversation in terms of how productive and healthy it can be to a human being. But you sent me this TikTok, and if you want to explain, you can. I can go ahead and go for it and explain.
You can share the TikTok on Instagram or what have you, but the TikTok is it's of another podcast. I'm not sure the name of it. It was just on TikTok, but it's a group of guys, like 3 or 4 guys around the room, and they were talking about how when you go to the restroom and sit on the toilet, your meat touches the water.
Okay, first of all, you know how big your meat got to be splashing the water, bro?
That's what I'm saying. Your meat never hit the water?
Bro,
stop doing that shit, nigga. Shut your lame.
If you're saying like this, no, if you're sitting on the toilet like this, your meat is touching the water.
Nigga lying like
Keep it a stack.
Nigga, we can go to the bathroom right now. I don't give
a fuck. And the thing is, man, is I've heard this before. So, has this happened to me? Yes, but the toilet was very much big with water, like a good amount of water in it. Okay, so let's just slow down, because this is a podcast with 2 guys who are dads, who are husbands, and I don't want this to go left, and it will anyway.
Only go left.
It's going to go left because of just off the strength of what we're talking about. So
we're talking about meats. It's going to go left.
Is it too late to cancel this episode? But all right, let's lay a foundation.
You said that you've heard this before.
Yeah.
As a white, I've never heard this. None of my white counterparts, my white colleagues, compadres, nobody who is white has ever, but damn, my meat is touching the water. Now, I have let loose something out of the back of me and it will splash up and then my meat will get wet. But it is never just
out of the back of you?
But it has never touched the water.
Bro, okay, so let's lay a foundation because, again, this is going to go left, but I just want to put this out there. The way the TikTok is the guy who was talking the most was very upset. He was pissed because apparently I've heard it maybe twice in life, and I understand that it can happen, but the way he explained it, he's like, bro, do you understand how big and long it has to be? Because every toilet is different. For example, the toilet we have in our apartment right now, the water is so low, you'd have to at least on soft. I hate talking about this on camera. But Jesus. On soft, you have to at least be on soft, at least be 10. At least be a 10er. Because
we might need to record like a separate opening for the podcast. Just disclaimer, no homo.
Right. we can honestly do that right now. So this episode of the Tricksters podcast is brought to you by two men who are not homosexual. This is I don't know how to do this disclaimer.
This next episode of Tricksters podcast contains gratuitous use of meats and other things of that nature. If that's not your jam, tune in next week. Because this episode, we're talking about meats.
And the scientific term is penis. So with that said, I don't like saying either word, but that's where we're at. And it's not an episode for shock value or anything. It's just, there's a lot of things that happen.
We told y'all, bro. We told y'all after the draft, it's just NBA, and that's all we got.
This is what we have. Next topic. I'm just okay. This is very uncomfortable, but let me stay in here. I'm gonna stay in the gap. So to lay the foundation again, the TikTok was a podcast. The guy was very upset because he's heard it before. He called BS because he's like, brother, you know how long it has to be. I understand what he's saying because in the toilet we have is very little water in the bowl. You'd have to be a very long guy also. And if I promise you, fellas, let's stop being immature. Let's put the ego and the pride to the side. If you have 10 on soft, that's cool and all. You can be impressed with yourself. But check this out, man. There ain't many ladies looking for you. All right. You can find a few creepy people online if you want to go pull up to wherever they are. So let's just stop the cap. Let's slow down. Like, again, all toilets are different. It's happened to me once in my life because it's a comfortable toilet. You know, it's enough space because most toilets are too small for me. I'm 6'8", 250.
What went through your brain the minute you sit down and you feel what happens?
Disgust. Like, I consider my stuff, every man should consider his stuff very precious. You should keep it safe, clean, away from harm. That's all we got as men. Once that's over, you end up getting Woman of the Year. No shade.
You mean to tell me you didn't get up and like button your pants like, yeah?
No, it was like, I was immediately disgusted. Like, it's like, ugh, like toilet water, bro. I wouldn't put my pinky in that. Like, you know what I mean? So it was like one of those things. So it's happened to me. But again, it's like, what are we really talking about? I don't know. And then there's this thing across the male community where it's just, it's common nature to talk about it and brag about what you got going on and all that when it's only other men listening. I've never understood that myself, ever. Like, you've known me my whole life. There's never really been my cup of tea as far as conversing on that matter.
It's never been a talking point.
Not at all. And that's why it's a little uncomfortable for me now on the podcast, because it's like, we really got to discuss this, because this is something we talked about on FaceTime. But I didn't want the entire episode to be about that per se. It was just kind of funny that led to some stories.
It did lead to some stories that I hope don't come on the podcast for your sake.
Let's leave it alone. I'll just say this. Kids, if you're raising kids or if you are a kid, whatever it is, if you're a kid, you shouldn't be watching this anyway. And I'm going to tell your parents. But raising kids, man, just be careful. Just be open with your kids. They don't need to know everything up front, but there's just a lot of danger in unsupervision or non-supervision, that is, in high school and middle school. Kids get to talking about stuff and it can go left, man. So now the funny thing is, though, is we got to talking about Adam Sandler and the video you sent me about Shaq.
Uh-huh.
So I want to settle this on the podcast because I'm so sick of this. For the longest,
come on, bro.
For the longest, me and John have been arguing like relentlessly about Shaquille O'Neal and what he's got going on in the midsection. And I kept arguing to John, like, I've never in my life thought about what Shaquille O'Neal is working with, ever in my life. That has never crossed my brain. And he's like calling me nuts and crazy for that. This has been going on for a minute. He's like, bro, you never thought, like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, you're crazy. What's wrong with you?
It's been over a year since we've started this conversation. We bring it up probably once a week and dive into it more.
Bro, I just cannot believe it. And so what he does, this was months ago, he actually went on freaking Twitter and you did a poll. You did a poll about Shaq's poll. And
and you can go on the Tricksters Instagram and make another one, and we'll find out. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Investigators on the case.
Yep.
But you put up a poll, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of whether or not people have thought about what Shaq's got going on.
Yeah, it wasn't like what you think he's got. It's Shaq's meat. I've always wondered, or I've never once crossed my mind. And I think it was like 80%. I've always wondered.
Yeah, it was over 80%, which blew my freaking mind. I was actually pissed when I read the results.
I told you were crazy.
It's like, how am I in the minority? This is a grown man.
But it's crop circles, City of Atlantis, and what Shaq's got in his drawers. That's what we're trying to figure out as a society. And Shaq could win the Nobel Peace Prize if he just came out and told us.
The war would end?
It would be over. I could finally rest. I could get some sleep at night.
That's why so much stress is going around, because people just can't sleep not knowing what he's got going on.
But you turn on TNT, Shaq's like, all right, guys, got to get something off my chest.
That's his voice.
Then Charles Barkley, he says what he's got, and Charles Barkley like, man, hell no, you ain't got that. That's
bro. So you proceed to send me after the poll. This is months after. This was like what, last week? You sent me Adam Sandler's video, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's literally on. Was it Jimmy Fallon?
He's on one of the late night shows. I think it's Jimmy Fallon.
It was either Jimmy Fallon or Conan. It was either one.
You can post that to the Instagram too, so people know what we're talking about.
I'll have to post that to the Tricksters Instagram, the Trickster Pod, because it just made me even more upset. But Adam Sandler had a whole deal about him actually being on. Was he on set with Shaq, like filming something?
I think it was Grown Ups.
Yeah, he was filming something with Shaq, grown-ups, and Shaq was about to hit the showers. And Adam Sandler's like, I gotta go. I gotta go
Now's
see
my
that.
chance. It's now or never. I'll never be in the situation again unless we make grown-ups too, which they did. I
Yeah.
wonder if you tried again.
Well, on that episode, I'll have to post that, bro, because that blew my mind. I'm like, why do people have to? I don't get it, bro.
It's not even like tall people in general. Like Yao Ming, I've never wondered what he had because I'm pretty sure I know what he's got.
Don't do this. Don't do this.
It's because there's people in the NBA now that are 7 foot plus, and doesn't cross my mind. But Shaq has just been keeping me awake at night for as long as I can remember.
Well, you got to think about it. Not only is he 7'1", 330 pounds, but he was such a dominant player. I guess like, I wonder.
Bro, you know who probably does know? Old buddy from the Knicks that Shaq humped and pushed down.
Yeah.
I forgot old buddy's name, but he probably felt all of it.
Okay. This is getting out of hand, as if it already isn't.
Right,
But go ahead.
We knew it was going to left like before we even recorded the episode.
This is so bad, bro. This is this is rough. But I'm here. So let's go this route. What does Shaq have to like? What would be impressive to you, or what would settle you down? Like once you found out, and what would you? What's the right question to ask?
What is an acceptable length for Shaq?
What is an acceptable size for Shaq for you to rest at night?
Bro, if Shaq is anything less than 8 inches, I'm rioting.
I would expect it to be more than 10.
I mean, I would expect it to be more than 10, but I'm saying anything less than 8, I'm causing a riot.
Yeah, because that all makes sense.
Because his wife is like super small, so.
No comment.
You rascal. But yeah, bro, to answer your question, there's not like a size where I'm satisfied. There's just like a size, there's like a cutoff. If he's smaller than 8 inches, I'm very disappointed in him.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing he can do about it.
I mean, true. I don't look at him the same.
You know, I don't want to talk about it.
It's like that episode of Family Guy. Was he bigger than me? I felt nothing. Huh. Little guy.
Little guy.
I could look at Shaq the same way if I found out he had something less than 8.
I swear I wouldn't care.
I told you, bro, you're in the minority. You're one of the only people in America who does not care.
So it's like either what's right with me or what's wrong with me. Because even if he had just a 4 or 5er, I promise you I would not care.
Bro.
I'm not laying down with the guy. That's my basis to this
That's fine.
This we've been having this whole time is he is another man. Like, I don't care.
I mean, I'm not laying down with him either. That's how my brain works. I think I might be autistic.
They're not, as a community, they're not obsessed with beats. Like, they don't need to know.
They have their own things. They have their own things they're obsessed with. And this might be my thing.
Okay. First of all, so many people need to stop claiming autism. Okay. That's a really solid out for when you just want to be who you are. Just be weird.
It's a fantastic out. When we were growing up, autistic wasn't a thing. Well, it was, but like people didn't use it as an out for why they were weird. They were just weird. But now it's like, oh, he's autistic, just like him. Like,
and everybody's gonna be like, oh,
he's autistic. That's why Let him skin that cat. He's autistic. That's his jam. Bro, do you know what it took for me to stay home from school when I was a kid?
Bro, I remember your nose would be bleeding, something would be wrong, and you still have to go to school.
Bro, if I didn't go to school and my nose bled, I would probably never go to school. My nose bleeds like a damn. My nose bleeds more than it doesn't bleed, honestly.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Any day my nose doesn't bleed, I'm like, huh, that's weird.
Have you never? I made it through. Have you never asked the doctor about that?
No, just because I've gotten used to it, and I don't want to take the time to go to the doctor and get it fixed. I'd rather just deal with it. Does that make sense?
I mean, I hate going to the doctor for anything, bro. But the point is like nosebleeds could be a lot of things. And for it to be so frequent, it's like it can't be, it could be allergies, but it does it throughout the year.
Yeah, it does it like year round. But like I'm so used to it, like I don't want to take the time to get it checked out because it's so normal to me and I feel fine.
Right. You feel fine now.
I'm a beacon of health.
But what I'm saying is, and we do this a lot, but you feel fine now. Everything's cool. It's normal to you. But that normality is a very big twist later on.
I'm not worried about later on, bro. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
What if you had split personalities and the other guy took over at night and was just sniffing blow? And that's why your nose was bleeding all the time.
Hell yeah. That'd be rad.
Okay.
It's like Moon Knight, except for
I just finished watching Moon Knight. That's exactly why I brought it up.
I'm literally watching the new episode after we finish the podcast.
It's a heck of an ending, bro.
This new episode is?
Yeah, before we record, I said I was finishing a YouTube video. It was the reaction, like not the reaction, but the breakdown of what happened towards the end. Because I got it, but it was like, what? So you'll see. So no spoilers here. But back to like this generation, our generation, the one after us, all this stuff. That's where we're going with a lot of things. Where now we basically, it's like we almost worship being weird when it comes to what people are into, sexuality, everything. I'm not against LGBTQ. You know, I have family members that are in that, you know, I don't know what to call it, that community, but it's not that I'm just necessarily just hateful against it, but I do believe that it is wrong. It's a sin. Sue me, cancel me, whatever you got to say. I believe it's wrong. Okay. But I don't say it in a self-righteous way. Just kind of letting you guys know. So with that said, bro, it's like everything that you can come up with is acceptable these days. And so they use all that stuff as an out. But then when somebody says anything controversial or insulting to anybody, period, even if it's not even the sexual community, the homosexual community anymore, it's literally cancel culture, bro. Like, you're done. And so it's like, why do you get all this grace, but nobody else gets any forgiveness?
Yeah, it's wild to me how the things that I've said in my life and the thought of going back and repeating those things now.
We dare not.
Bro.
Yeah.
My Facebook memories come up every day. Bro, I gotta delete a lot of those because somebody will find
Let's start a new page, bro.
I need to. Because boy, oh boy, I'll send you a couple of them that I find. Because I swear I delete 95% of them.
Yeah.
Because this is back 10 years ago, it was the Wild West, bro. You could just let it fly.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I couldn't say is it.
Bro, I constantly, even the other day, I listened to Bernie Mac. He let it fly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. The F word. Fly. With confidence and stern.
Yeah.
I mean, real stern. And I'm just like, the way I hear it now is with a trained ear. It's like it almost hurts my feelings because that's where we're at. But back in the day, it was what it was. But it's funny to see times change and like a lot. I'm not trying to be too serious on this episode, but I promise you, I think about this almost on a daily basis, where times are like that right now. But it's like, will they ever turn back almost? Like, I'm sure a lot of, in the 60s, a lot of whites were thinking this way about times maybe turning back.
What do you mean we can't say it?
So you mean to tell me that we can't say it and they're going to be part of our schools? Times are changing. Y'all getting soft. Y'all are getting soft.
It's give and take here. You can't let them in our schools and tell us we can't say it. You got to give us one.
Well, your kids can say it. Okay. We'll roll with that. We'll teach them all the ins and outs of saying.
Oh, some of the funniest videos I see on the internet is when people get wild and say it. And they get corrected.
It's funny because you're white and you send me those videos week after week, year after year. You've been sending me that, I can't tell you, for at least 6-7 years of just compilations of people getting whooped for saying the N-word. And I would never even think to look that up, but you get so much joy out of it.
I don't look it up. I just see it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then I happened across, my brother sent me a compilation of it, like as a tweet, and all the threads under it are a different video of somebody getting worn out.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one dude on the train.
Bro, he gave him a barrage of hands. They didn't stop. He tried to talk in between it.
The first punch knocked him out, and he still
He just kept going. He dazed him easy with the right. But
Bro, I've never seen a video like that though, because most of them they'll say it, and the person who corrects them, I guess, doesn't hear them correctly, or they want to give them a chance to change their ways. I guess.
mm-hmm.
Like, oh, say it again.
Yeah.
And they always say it again, and it's always the same result.
Yeah. I like I don't know if he said it on the video. You remember that viral video of the dude with the can of tea or whatever it was?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was, but it was definitely racist energy in that video. But he smacked the crap out of dude. That was hilarious.
That video was hilarious, but then I saw it too much, and then it got annoying to me because it went viral. Oh yeah, it went super viral. One of my favorite ones is outside the Cheesecake Factory.
I know exactly. I knew you were gonna say that because you send that one consistently.
But that's my favorite one because old buddy turns into a Golden Glove boxer and slumps on the door and just is throwing absolute hands.
He really gave it to him.
And then the recording's like, yep, shouldn't have said it.
What's sad, what's crazy is I've been in that situation and I've reacted that way, but I don't know what it is, man. And I don't want to put the school on blast, but the school that we went to, you can look it up on Facebook. You'll know where we went. But the school we went to, man, when I first got there, it was pretty much all white. And so my first like 3, 4, 5 years there, I dealt with a lot of that. But growing up, even now I look back, I'm 29, I'll be 30 next year. I'm like, where does that come from? Like they're kids, they don't even know what they're technically doing. They're just repeating what happens at home.
Honestly, bro, I said it when I was in 4th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that I in context, we're playing dodgeball at the Boys and Girls Club. And I got the last person on the other team out, so we win. Yeah. My teammate is out, and he runs on the court after we win, and he shows me, excited. He said, "Let's go N-word." And then I responded "Yeah, let's go N-word." So I just repeated it because I had no idea the context.
And then you opened your eyes and you were in the hospital. I'm joking.
It went from a group of elated children that we won the dodgeball game to silence. And I was like, oh, yeah, yikes.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
Well, you probably shouldn't say that afterward.
The counselor pulled me to the side like, "Hey, man, you can't say that. You can't say that." And I was like, "Huh."
Right after saying the N-word, you say monkey see, monkey do. Oh my God. Bro, I would have gave you the business. Oh, man.
But yeah, please don't cancel me for something I said when I was 9 years old.
It'll happen. It'll happen anyway.
I go to work tomorrow. They serve me them papers.
Your stuff is in a box. But bro, it's like you proved my point. You're 9. You just reciprocated what was said. You didn't know what was going on. So for me, I got to that school when I was 9, and that started early. It probably didn't end until after 8th grade, from what I remember. And so from 4th grade to 8th grade, so roughly 4.5 years, I still to this day don't understand that energy. Like, there's one thing for people to throw out this, but it's one thing to be intimidated by something, or something threatens you, or you're jealous, or whatever that is. But to go that far, I never understood that. Because to me, growing up where I grew up, I was none to be jealous of or intimidated by any means. You feel me? So I never understood that, and I don't expect you to explain it because you've never understood it either. Just finishing my thought there. But I don't want to talk too much about that, bro. I just think it's funny that things happen the way they do. But I never even knew that story, bro.
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't told you that, because obviously you're not gonna stop being my friend because it's something I did when I was 9 years old.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was I had to write sentences. I said the F word in 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
And the same day, we're playing kickball in after school care.
Wait. F word. The one that ends in K or G?
T. The gay.
The whole. I did the short version.
I know. I put some emphasis on that T.
You got the whole joint out. You made it crisp.
Oh yeah. So we're playing kickball, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm the roller on my team. And the roller is a very important position because you're playing against the other team.
Mm-hmm.
And the other team will ask you to like roll it a certain way. Like, nah, bro, this ain't slow pitch softball. You don't get it how I roll it. You'll be happy with it. But this other guy wanted to like, oh, you want me to bounce it to you so you can kick it literally 3 miles that way? Sure. Like, nah, bro, I'm rolling it and we're winning. And we go back out to field because we just finished kicking. And he grabs the ball and he's like, I'm rolling. I was like, stop being, you know what? And then he proceeds to prove my point and go tell on me.
You know?
But he goes and tells on me. I get in trouble. I have to sit down. And that same day, my little brother, he's a year younger than I am, he also gets in trouble and has to sit down. But my little brother got in a fight with the special needs kids. So,
you know what? I think we're out of film.
Bro, me and my brother are both sitting in timeout when my mom pulls up. And I'm like, man, she's got to feel like a rock star right now. Both of her kids are here in trouble. But I'm like, man, I'm so glad he got in trouble because what he did vastly outclasses what I did.
Does it?
Yeah.